Brexit party leader Nigel Farage criticised Luxembourg's Prime Minister, Xavier Bettel, accusing him of ritually humiliating Boris Johnson during a press conference on Monday afternoon. Boris Johnson has discussed Brexit with Brussels officials and Jean-Claude Juncker's home country of Luxembourg. Following the meeting, Luxembourg's Prime Minister went on a rampage about Brexit during a press conference, saying he deeply regrets the decision. Mr. Johnson was absent from the press conference due to protests, leaving an empty podium. Nigel Farage lashed out at Mr. Bettel's behaviour, claiming he ritually humiliated the UK Prime Minister. Speaking on his LBC radio show, Mr. Farage said, "Today Boris was ritually humiliated. Does it make you think it really is time to leave? We're not dealing with reasonable people. It does me," he added. "What I've criticised them for is despite the fact they champion the euro and the single market, they are able it seems to break many of the rules. I think it's a humiliation too far this. I think it will actually backfire in terms on British public opinion. I think a lot more people will say, do you know what? To hell with this. We are wasting our time even talking to them if that's how rude they're going to be. And I have to tell you, Xavier Bettel, the Prime Minister, laughing about Boris not being there, gesturing to the empty podium with the baying mob just a few feet away. During a speech at the press conference, Mr. Bettel passionately declared, "People are trying to blame others because they can't find an agreement. It is not up to the UK to decide what the future relations will be with the EU. Don't make it like the European Union is the bad guy. Theresa May accepted them. It's not Europe's fault. These are homemade problems. I won't accept any responsibility for the mess we're in at the moment." During their 2-hour working lunch, Mr. Johnson and Mr. Juncker failed to make a Brexit breakthrough. According to the European Commission, the EU chief said it was the UK's responsibility for delivering legally operational solutions that are compatible with a withdrawal agreement, but he said he would continue to work with Mr. Johnson to find a solution. Downing Street released the following statement after today's lunchtime meeting. The Prime Minister and President Juncker had a constructive meeting this lunchtime. The Brexit Secretary and Michel Barnier were also in attendance. The leaders took stock of the ongoing talks between the UK's team and Task Force 50. The Prime Minister reconfirmed his commitment to the Good Friday Belfast Agreement and his determination to reach a deal with the backstop removed, that UK parliamentarians could support. The Prime Minister also reiterated that he would not request an extension and would take the UK out of the EU on the 31st of October. The leaders agreed that the discussions needed to intensify and that meetings would soon take place on a daily basis. It was agreed that talks should also take place at a political level between Michel Barnier and the Brexit Secretary, and conversations would also continue between President Juncker and the Prime Minister.